So, good morning, everybody. How are you today? Nice to see you all here. Welcome to ISTA Conference 2023. My name is Anelia, or Annie, and today I will be your host together with my colleague, Danny.
Hello from my side as well. Annie, do you know that it's already the 13th edition of ISTA? So ISTA has now become a teenager.
It has become a teenager, but it has also become a tradition because it's the 13th edition of the conference, and today will be full of collaboration, knowledge sharing, so don't miss the opportunity to see your friends and enjoy the day. And speaking about tradition, there is something important. We decided to break one of the traditions today, and for the first year ever in the history of the conference, it's two women that will open this conference. So that's Danny, that's me, and we hope you will enjoy the day.
As we heard, today will be all about breakthroughs, so we'll hear a lot of interesting talks on hot topics such as Gen AI, QA, DevOps, and so much more by experts in their fields. I'm already excited. How about you? Come on!
You should
can
go
do
and drink
better.
coffee after the opening so that you get refreshed. OK, so we should mention two important things. The first one is our partners. This year, the companies and the people that make this conference possible. So the applauses are for our GOAT sponsors, Interop.io, Progress, Merkle, Bosch, Accidia, Intane, Sigma, LimeChain, 356 Labs, Flutter International, and Runa. And of course, our silver partner, ScaleFocus.
And we want to also say a big thank you to our event and media partners, Exactway, Superhosting, iBest, Bascom, Byte, Softuni, Teach for Bulgaria, DevBG, and The Recursive, so a big applause for them as well. And we have an amazing team of 5 co-organizers, Experian, Infragistics, Musawasoft, SAP, and VMware. Let's give them a round of applause.
So let us give you a little bit of tips and tricks how you can make the most out of your time today. So first, all of you, or at least most of you, have badges. And here at badges, you have a QR code. If you scan the QR code, you will have full access to the agenda of today. The other important thing is that you can see all of our partners and their booths outside of the hall, just in the front area. Don't miss the opportunity to get to their booths and enjoy the nice prizes and games they all have prepared for you. For the first time, we have a special cause of the conference. This year, we decided to support Teach for Bulgaria, or Zajedno. This is a non-profit organization that supports children in need to have equal access to quality education. And this is something important for the whole IT industry in Bulgaria, because all of us here today want to have these young people who will continue their career development in the country and position Bulgaria as a hub for innovation and talents. So don't miss the chance to go to their booth, donate if you have this opportunity, and of course, learn something more about the organization. The other important thing, of course, is the food. The lunch will be from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. And another tradition we decided not to break this year is the nice T-shirts of the conference. So don't forget to pick up yours from the reception. And because we're comms people, last but not least, we have a special hashtag. It's ISTA 2023. So if you post content on social media, don't forget to use this hashtag.
Annie, I think we are forgetting something very important.
Oh, sorry.
We also have a raffle, so each one of you can have their raffle tickets in your welcoming bag, and you need to insert them at the booths of our partners in front in the exhibition area. The winners will be drawn in the end of today, so make sure to stay till the end and win some really cool prizes.
And now I think we should stop speaking because they won't invite us next year to open the conference. So we are stopping with the speeches, and we would like to invite here on the stage our wonderful moderators of today that will guide us throughout the whole day. So applauses for Radoslav Kovachev, Rado, welcome on stage, Kirill Sariev, Joanna Boyanova, Teodora Nikolova, Karina Aneva, and Elina Zheleva. A big applause for them. Welcome on stage, colleagues.
Apparently, some are still getting coffee.
Okay.
I heard more names. All right. Thank you. And now let's get it rolling. I'm super excited to invite our opening keynote speaker to warm us up, Radu Georgescu. He has over 30 years of experience in founding and developing software, internet, and e-commerce companies. Successful exits include the acquisition of RAV Antivirus technology by Microsoft in 2003, the ePayment business by Naspers in 2010, Avangate by Francisco Partners in 2013, and Fitbit's Vectorwatch technology in 2016. So Radu is also a board director and advisor for a series of technology startups and mature companies. Sounds super exciting for me. So Radu, come on stage. The stage
there
is
you go.
yours.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me. Hey guys, good morning. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a wonderful traveling dinner night at the hotel, and I'm now super bummed to be around here. Thanks so much for having me. Just to give you a few kind of background of who I am, where I'm coming from, and then I'm going to try to answer the question that everybody asks me, why the hell do you wake up in the morning? So what drives you? So let me give you the background. Finished mechanical university college. I'm a mechanical engineer. My last kind of year, my senior year in university, back in '92, so I'm an old guy, I'm 56. Back in '92, remember those days, immediately after revolution and everything. I'm from Romania, from Bucharest. So I got in love with computers. So mechanical engineer got into the computers room, and some of you may remember, the good old green screen computers, right? And got in love with them. Why is that? So I've always been an entrepreneur in my heart, deep in my heart. So back in high school, I needed money for beer, right? So I was doing the projects for my colleagues. I didn't recognize at that time in front of my teachers, but I was doing this and got, $10, for a project. But the project meant that, you spend 2 hours to actually draw the project and do the project, and you got $10. 2 more hours, 10 more bucks. So that's a very linear growth of the business, right? You are selling minutes, completely non-scalable. So senior year, fast forward, senior year of college, realized that you actually invest 4 hours, 10 hours for no money writing a project, a software, and then you get one of your colleagues' problem, type in, press print, and done. So suddenly, it's not 10 minutes, 10 bucks, 10 minutes, 10 bucks linear growth. It's like input data print, input data print. That's an exponential growth. And all the good things that you all know, J-curve, you invest in the software, and then it grows exponentially. So when I realized that computers allows me to do this, I completely got in love. It was love at first sight, completely got in love with computers, wrote my first code that in '94 ended up selling to Autodesk. So that was some libraries for AutoCAD. It ended up being Genius, whatever Genius libraries are for Autodesk. I realized at that time that I thought at that time that whatever money I got from Autodesk, and it was a very small amount of money, huge for me at that time, I thought that it's going to last forever. And obviously, it didn't. Started a few other companies. All in all, until today, 37 companies. So I started as a founder or co-founder, 37 companies. Seems like a big number. 6 of them hugely successful, sold the company to Microsoft, an antivirus company, and it became the core of Microsoft security even today. So the team that went to Redmond from us is still the core security team of Microsoft. I've been consulting for 3 years, Microsoft, on building their security business. Sold the company to Naspers. It is what it became PayU today globally. Sold the company to Francisco Partners, and then they sold it to, to Verizon these days. Super exciting, really, really super exciting. So this is 10 amazing successes. 6 successes. 10 of the other companies didn't really lose all the money. And then all the rest, amazing experiences. Like really, really amazing experience. I've learned a lot from all this, whatever other people may call failures. I've learned really a lot of them. Now, everybody's asking me, man, why the hell are you just building companies? Why you don't keep them and list them on NASDAQ? Why the hell do you do all this trouble on starting and failing and falling in your nose, get bruises, and wake up again and start it like it's a masochism type of a thing? And the answer is no, man. It's so amazing. So entrepreneurship, how many of you guys are entrepreneurs? Show of hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, very little. So let me tell you my understanding of the entrepreneurship and what what I'm preaching for entrepreneurship. So look, I imagine myself, and I'm there like almost every night. So I'm with a friend of mine on my balcony, right? Sitting on a bunch of beer cases, right? So sitting on the balcony and speaking about things, about life, and it gets more and more interesting, speaking about life and philosophy and stuff. And then suddenly one of us has an idea how to change the world. I mean, after a few beers, you have a lot of ideas how to change the world. Some of them crazy to start with. Some of them, interesting. So 2 o'clock in the night, you realize that, yes, we are going to change the world. So let's go get some sleep. Tomorrow morning, we're going to change the world. Tomorrow morning, you meet with a friend again, and 9 out of 10 amazingly great ideas, you're going to realize in the morning when the fog is gone that are stupid. But 1 out of 10 seems to be interesting. And then, couple of friends, bottles of beer, and tomorrow morning, you have an idea sometimes. Have an idea, and that's great. And then you start, okay, let's put a little bit more effort into it. And you start look around and research, whatever you want to call it. And 1 week later, you either drop, and again, 9 of them, and you're going to see 9 out of 9 and 9. I mean, a lot of them you are going to drop. But, 1 week later, in 1 case out of 10, you are going to end up with a business plan, right? It's a back-of-the-envelope business plan, of course, 1 week later. But look how interesting. I mean, 2 friends, a couple of bottles of beer, an idea, 1 week later, a business plan. And it's something that, you don't need more. You only need your brains and your 2 hands. And then the business plan may say that, okay, it's not going to actually work it, so you drop it 9 times out of 10. But 1 time out of 10, what happens is that you say, okay, why not? And we're in the freaking software business. I mean, the CapEx, the investment, the money investment, not necessarily so big. So you start with a friend to actually start programming. So, 3 months later, you freaking have an MVP. You have a product. So how exciting. I mean, it actually gives me bruises. So, 2 friends, 2 bottles of beer in the balcony. 1 week later, a business plan. 3 months later, you have a fucking product. Excuse my French, right? You have a product. And that's so interesting. It's an MVP. You ask a couple of friends, is it good, is it not good? Most of the time, 9 times out of 10 is not good. You are going to drop it. But 1 time out of 10, it's going to be something exciting. So 3 months later, you decide to actually put it online. Now, this is exciting. You put it online, and even if you are not entrepreneurs, it happened to you that you turned the switch on to put a product online, right? How many of you have done this? Yeah, it is exciting. Isn't it exciting? I mean, it's like, man, it's online, and you start looking to see people actually clicking on your product. And it's so 20 years ago, you actually look on the back office and Google Analytics. Oh, somebody from New Zealand clicked on my product. What the hell is there? And you start looking and seeing where they pressed and everything. So it's so exciting, like, two friends, couple of bottles of beer, business plan, MVP, online product. And people are using it. And it's so rewarding that people are actually using your product, are using your idea. And then sometimes, 9 times out of 10, you're going to just drop it because people don't use it. I mean, the guy from New Zealand is sleeping, the other guy in wherever, Patagonia, is doing something else. So nobody's going to use it, so OK, we had a bad idea. But sometimes it's good, and you refine the product and everything. And then 3 more months later, what else? You put the magic button there, which is pay now. Man, so buy the product, pay. And you again start looking in the back office. Oh, this guy almost pressed the button. So this guy pressed the button but took it back, and this and that. And it's again so freaking rewarding that 2 friends, a couple of beers, a couple of beers, a business plan, an MVP, a product that people are using, and the product that people are paying for. And that's your work. That is your work that actually created value for people to actually use it. So there is no better reward, no better acknowledgement that you've done something good other than customers willing to pay for your work. And that is absolutely amazing. And that drives me like really nuts. So the feeling, if you end up after, 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10, 1 out of 10, it's a very small percentage. But if you get there, that people actually pay for your product, for your work, for your actual, what you innovated, it's so amazing that it makes all the difference in my life. And then, you start work some more, you start hiring salespeople, you get the company break even, and it's not interesting anymore. And for me, that's what begs me to actually get out of this. Put the company in the hands of a better person, in the hands of a better company environment, to get the company in a better place, and let me do what I know, how to do, basically drink beer. So that's kind of the way I understand entrepreneurship. And I'm not saying, all of us should be entrepreneurs. Entrepreneurship is with a lot of failures. It's 9 out of 10 fail, 9 out of 10 fail, 9 out of 10 fail, 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 fail. So you got to be able to swallow failure, to embrace failure, to understand that failure, it's an amazing learning experience. To be able to grow out of your own failures, but in the same time to survive out of the failures. And what I'm telling my friends in the corporate world that want to start a company as entrepreneurs, I'm saying, look, it's amazing. I would, at any time, drop my corporate job to be an entrepreneur, and that's what I'm doing. I'm just picking my own life here. The biggest question that one has to ask is, can I sleep if I know that tomorrow I don't have the money to pay my employees? That's a freaking big question. And it's important because if you cannot sleep, you actually don't have the energy and you don't have the power and the brains to actually figure out where you get the money from. You cannot solve the problem. You have to have a little bit of, ability to sleep through very rough times. Anyway, so I guess that's my entrepreneurial story. I just wanted to share with you this excitement of doing your own product, of changing the world by yourself, the excitement of thinking how to change the world while drinking beer, or whatever you guys want to drink. I think it's a good time to invite Radu to go forward. Thank you. Go there. See you on the outside.
Well, first of all, thank you for opening Kista. It was you have an amazing story, and this was quite inspirational start. I believe it's adding all this energy to this audience. Great start for Kista 2023. And yeah, I would like actually I have on top of it, we now have the chance to sit here with you and chat about some of the details of the topics that you just covered. So maybe we can once again start with your beginning. How this started for you? How did you go to the entrepreneurial way?
Yeah, so look, I think in my own mind I was always an entrepreneur. So it goes back into high school when I was doing all this hacks for doing the homework for my colleagues, and it's amazing. It brings up a lot of memories, and trying to figure out how to change other people's lives, being it in a very small way, my colleagues doing their homework, or in a very big way, like putting people on Mars, just to, right? I think it's really it can be either a very interesting and exciting mental masturbation, or it can end up being, actually good business.
So actually, what was the main motivation? The money, and does it change during the years?
That's a very good question. I think that each of us work for some sort of a compensation, right? And some people have different people have different ways to understand reward. And some people get rewarded by the thought that they saved a puppy, right? Some people get rewarded by, saving the world. Some people got rewarded by money, and so on. My personal reward, perfect reward, is success, right? So, and success has to have a KPI because, it's about incentives and KPIs. Money is one of the KPIs of success.
Right.
Not for the value of the money. I'm a simple person. I would never buy a yacht or whatever it is. Honestly, I don't need whatever money is being made. But for me, money is very important because I can understand that it was successful.
Yeah.
What I was saying, right, that so people actually paying your work is, it says that you've done something good.
So you like the fact that the feeling that you have created something, but the money is obviously one of the things that you measure that you actually succeeded in creating this thing.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And can you compare the difference from when you started in the 90s to now in terms of entrepreneurship? Is there a change?
In this part of the world or globally?
Well, maybe let's start from this part of the world.
This part of the world in itself, forget entrepreneurship, it's a completely different thing. So both Bulgaria and Romania are kind of in the same sweet spot of where we are and how the way we understand growth. And I believe in both countries, we all saying that, we should be further ahead and we're the last in Europe or this and that. But we don't realize how much of a difference we've all made in all these 30 years. So both countries are completely different, like, black and white type of different from who we were 30 years ago. And it's so amazing. I mean, it's Western Europe in both countries on so many levels. Entrepreneurship is kind of leading this charge. And entrepreneurs, both in Bulgaria and Romania, are amazing entrepreneurs and very successful entrepreneurs. Companies that are unicorns. I mean, both countries have unicorns and changed the world in their respective fields. And people know how to, I mean, from the basics, people know how to manage, how to do management, how to do product management, and all these things. I mean, we've got people going into Stanford and Harvard and coming back and creating companies and helping teams to do whatever they do. I think it's an amazing change.
Okay. And compared to the other part of the world?
I think we're on par with the ability to create technologically.
Okay.
Actually, even slightly better.
And what we're missing? This is the question.
I think we're missing so to start with, I'd focus with what we are good and then try to figure out what we're missing. But what we're missing, to answer your question, I think we're missing the understanding that we can change the world. I mean, we don't dream big enough.
Is the scale in
I think so. I'm seeing so many, because I'm with SeedBlink and seeing so many companies every day to invest in. I would dare to say that most of the companies in this part of the world are marketplaces selling shoes. And that's a vision, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm not saying it's a bad vision. I'm just saying it's a small vision, right? Whereas when I'm seeing companies from Silicon Valley, there are companies that want to put man on Mars, right? And yeah, I took the two extremes just for example, but that's kind of the big difference.
Okay, and to get you back to the who can be an entrepreneur, you mentioned that it's not for everybody, but the question is, if not all of us are entrepreneurs, all of us can be innovators.
Oh, yes,
right?
Absolutely.
And how important is the innovation to entrepreneurship?
I think that innovation is very important for big corporates. So being innovative in a big corporates, whatever they call intrapreneurship, or different companies have different names.
Sorry to interrupt. Maybe we have to define what is innovation to you.
Innovation means, for me, doing things differently. And it's not like putting a red button instead of a green button, but just doing things differently. And there is technological innovation, and there is marketing innovation, and there is management information, execution innovation, and so on, obviously. I think that in today's world, technology innovation is not that important anymore. I think that successful companies, successful teams, successful entrepreneurs are not the ones that innovate technologically anymore. I think that innovation in execution is key, and I think that successful companies are the ones that actually execute flawlessly. If you really think about it, Facebook was not the first social media company. Google was not the first search engine. There are others that were innovating technologically before, but they just made it flawlessly.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that actually they did innovation in the execution.
Absolutely.
So it's once again the innovation here.
Yep.
Okay, and you mentioned that if you get back to the innovation, is the innovation a skill or a talent? Can we learn to do innovation?
No, I think it's a combination of nature and nurture. I think that up to 80% is training. So, most of the work is done by learning, by education, by formal training, by mentorship, by, nurturing. And this 80% actually gets you on par with the best, right? Which is great.
Okay, yeah.
But the rest of 20%, which is skill, which is nature, that's what actually gets you to be amazing, from on par to amazing. So I would value more work than skill, but having work and skill, it's a deadly combination.
Yeah, definitely. Basically, not just to execute, but from time to time to get your head up and to look at the whole picture, which will give you the first to check if you're going in the right direction, and second to understand where you fit and how you can change the direction so that
and even more. So I think ability to going up and look around is maybe half skill, but you can actually train this. But taking shortcuts, it's a big non-learnable thing. So normally a company would say, okay, that's a good idea, let's do a marketing research and spend a lot of money and understand what this guy is doing, what competition is doing, what customers are doing. Let's do some customer interviews, and there are some people that are just saying, oh, we need to go there. Just from the feeling, and I think that's, if this is being done well, that is amazing.
Yeah, so what is when you look at the certain business already, what is the main skill that you should have as an entrepreneur?
As an entrepreneur, I think reliance, so the ability to survive. So one of the most amazing definitions of entrepreneurship is every day getting rid of fires, right? So putting water on fires. So entrepreneur has to be a fireman like every day. Entrepreneur needs to solve problems every day. So this ability to not get killed of problem after problem after problem after problem, and you have 10 months of problems, and then one day an amazing success, and then another 10 months of problems, and it's hard for your heart to do this. It's not easy.
It sounds.
It's amazing, but it's not easy.
Yeah, it sounds scary and.
But it's amazing, man. I mean, it's so amazing. That one day when you have a success, it's like giving you goosebumps.
So what's your favorite part of the business life cycle? Apart from exiting, probably.
I think the beer part is the most exciting part. So, just being able to think on so many ways you can change the world, help changing the world. Like the world globally, there are so many things we can all together do to change things. It's amazing. Each of us has so many amazing opportunities to do this. And combining this with your own hobbies and likes and dislikes, that is amazing.
Yeah, and when you decide to make the exit, you actually talked about for a while about it, but don't you feel that you lose some part of you when you do the exit from a company that you built?
No, come on. No, on the contrary. No, come on. Look, I've got two daughters, right? 32 and 29. And the grandson, I'm a freaking grandfather. So, daughters grow up, and they're your daughters, and you're like, nobody touched them, it's my daughters, right? But then they get married. And then you literally, welcome them to go with somebody else who can, at that stage of their life, give them things that you cannot give them as a parent, right? And same with the company. I mean, the leader of the company in a stage of the company's life, it's somebody better. I'm probably better as a leader of a company at very, very early stages, the beer stages. But then I'm really a very bad leader for that company. So if you love your company and you are emotionally attached to it, you'd better put the company in the hands of a better person to give the company, what's better for the company in that stage.
Yeah, to go to the next level.
So it's not abandon ship, it's not giving it away, it's just making what's actually best for the company.
Yeah, you're right.
And I'm still amazingly attached to my team in Microsoft that they are doing, half of whatever security in the world. So I couldn't have gotten so far.
Yeah. Well, I have to admit, I have several more questions, but I think that we are running out of time. So I would like to, once again, to admit that it was a real pleasure for me to have you here, chat with you, get you sharing your experience, your thoughts and vision for the industry, your advices to the audience. It was a great experience for me, and I believe also for the audience. So thanks once again for having you here and for the opening of Vista. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you, man.